Educate and inform Cobra of the excitement going on in the city of Boynton Beach. This is my last year as mayor, and after being in government for 5 years, I have experienced a great deal and will share with you what I've learned. And two of the main quotes that have assisted me in my journey in government life is that government can change fast but move slowly, and everyone has the right to an opinion, however, that opinion may not be right. So, for everyone at home, the first slide goes over on the right, you have a picture of the Woolbright Bridge. And let's move on to the second slide where I'll be talking to. And before I begin, let me explain a brief overview of what's going on, how Boynton Beach became incorporated and how to get there. Then I'll be speaking about the city's effort to look better, our current environmental initiatives, and talk about the businesses that are part of our Green Business Program. Next, I will discuss the topics of diversity, equity, and inclusion, what these terms mean, and how the city and our partners are working on being a better community and society. And finally, discuss our amazing municipal buildings at Ocean Avenue and Seacrest Boulevard and the future possibilities. So on the second slide, we have two pictures, historic Boynton and Boynton Beach now. The brief history is that City of Boynton Beach started in June 1920 when the founding citizens organized at the Masonic Lodge on Ocean Avenue to sign documents of incorporation. They chose the name of Boynton Beach after Major Nathan Boynton, who named his hotel the Boynton Beach Hotel. If you want more information about the history of Boynton Beach, I suggest you check out the Florida Room in the city's library or join the Boynton Beach Historical Society, which provides monthly lectures about the history of Boynton Beach. As mayor, I sit as a director on multiple transportation boards, including the Palm Beaches Transportation Planning Agency, vice chair of the Palm Trans Service Board, and chair of the Transportation Disadvantaged Local Coordinating Board, aka Palm Tran Connection. The main difference between the two maps is that the map on the left consisted mostly of farms, and the map on the right has one farm left at Knuth Road and Boynton Beach Boulevard. With electric vehicles and virtual meetings, transportation is changing, and while less cars on the road last year is environmentally beneficial, there has been a dramatic rise in both pedestrian and bicyclist fatalities and injuries because people are walking and biking more. I can draw a correlation that the state and county have spent too much money on expanding roads and not enough to protect vulnerable people walking and biking. So when heading east to Boynton Beach, be careful and mindful to do the speed limit, not 10 miles over, or there's always the 73 bus on Palm Train along Boynton Beach Boulevard. And for your information, we do have red light cameras. We are keeping the red light cameras, and it's not to make the money for the city, but to keep people safer. Smart Growth America has designated Miami, Broward, and Palm Beach as the 13th deadliest metropolitan area in the country, which is very scary because we are the 9th most deadliest metropolitan area in Florida. And now, let's move on to the third slide for sustainability. Going green, a sustainable and resilient Boynton Beach. This is very important to me as there is a small fraction of the natural environment along the coast left, all the way from Homestead to Jupiter. It is evident when you look at the map, you see the roads and buildings as the majority of the land use. The first bullet is about the city's network for the environment. The Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy is the organization that helps the city track our progress with climate initiatives and lowering our greenhouse gas emissions. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is the United Nations organization to look at the sciences behind our natural world. Plus, the International Council for Local Environmental Initiatives, Local Governments for Sustainability, is specific for urban developments, and kind of what they're moving forward is eco-mobility. And one of the things that we have done in Boynton Beach is we created a minimum standard of environmental sustainability and resiliency for buildings so that every new building in Boynton Beach will be energy efficient. In addition, Boynton Beach hosts the first Platinum LEED elementary school, Galaxy Elementary. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. Our second bullet point is about action. because the environment's not going to get better on its own. And the cumulative effect of each person doing a little bit makes a difference. In the city of Boynton Beach, we are working with FPL and received multiple solar panel canopies at our Ocean Park and Barrier Free Park. This is done by donations through their Solar Now campaign. I'm working on the city's campaign because of the utilities' increased costs for stormwater management and electricity. And after the floods in last autumn, this is imperative as our climate is changing. Our third bullet point is creating a cooler Boynton Beach. The EPA has stated that trees make the world a little bit cooler. And we have created a tree canopy study that shows 16% of the city is under tree canopy, and we're trying to make it up to 20%. The city is about 16 square miles, so we have a lot of work to do. And with that, we've partnered with Community Greening and created an urban orchard so that the community has opportunities to grab fruit when ripe. In addition, we have mandated butterfly gardens as part of the environment of the landscaping so that we are helping the wildlife. The fourth bullet, transform Boynton Beach into a community where people walk, bike, take transit, and or carpool for most trips in a safe, accessible, and affordable transportation network. The two policies that we have is called Vision Zero, is that we are looking at every single death on the roads and to see where we can make changes, whether it's through education or design, to make sure that no one has to die while being transported. Our complete street policies is allowing both pedestrians and bicyclists safer places to commute. One of the big pushes that I have moving forward is the shared use path. We have multiple bike lanes on 40-mile-per-hour roads throughout Boynton Beach, Woolbright, Boynton Beach Boulevard, Gateway, Gulf Road, and there is only a 20% chance of surviving if you get hit by a car at 40 miles per hour. So a shared use path is something that can protect our bicyclists as they are driving on, instead of driving on roads with high speed limits. And the last is to inspire our community to act. We have the organization, the Boynton Beach Garden Club, that is working with our local schools to help create outdoor learning areas. I received a letter from a student in Boynton Beach asking to save the green iguanas and pythons and then ship them back to Southeast Asia. And it's up to us to inform the next generation about invasive species and how we can plant native plants as our landscape in order to help our own ecosystem. So the fourth slide is a couple pictures. On the top left, you see the FPL solar panel canopy at our Oceanfront Park. Top right is Mangrove Walk. The city is doing over a $500,000 renovation east of Federal Highway on Boynton Beach Boulevard to make it more environmentally friendly. The bottom left slide is Lake Webster, one of the ancient chain of lakes that still exists, only a little bit smaller. And that is where the city's new Eco Park off of Quantum Boulevard is coming through, and a picture of the urban orchard starting up. Moving on to the fifth slide, going green with businesses. So with the restaurant industry, with the amount of takeaway material that they use, cups and packaging, we want to create a program that benefits these restaurants. And towards the end of the presentation, you'll see a list of their websites and information. All these restaurants are extremely good, and I invite everyone to go check them out if you have not been there before. The sixth slide is the focus on full inclusion, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And diversity can be described as understanding that every person is equal equally part of the human race, and in this country should be given respect. Equity is an ambiguous term with multiple meanings, as someone can have equity in a house or business, but here, equity means providing assistance to families who, based upon previous government laws such as segregation, policies like red line districts, and attitudes of bigotry, have missed out of opportunities to better their lives and the lives of their children. And inclusion is recognizing some people need more help and providing that support. So picture A is a picture from this past summer of our police walking in the streets with protesters regarding police brutality. This is something that I have a different perspective after reading Ulysses S. Grant's biography and what he did as president during Reconstruction. And it was sad to see how after the 1890s, this country went in the wrong direction in regards to helping our diverse population grow. So now being the 21st century, we understand that there's more that we can do, not because of any fault of our own, but because we know what is right, and it's never a wrong time to do the right thing. In addition, our picture B is a delegation that I led to our sister city in Lakai, Haiti. Sister Cities International is a program that exchanges culture, education, and economics. I was able to see the difference of our sister cities in Rauma, Finland, and Forindala, Italy, compared to Lakai, Haiti. And so it was eye-opening to see, a city in today that has to worry about electricity, has to worry about sanitation. And this is something that is important that we take into account and don't take for granted all the things that our government does for us. And as a point for Sister Cities International, they currently have a Young Artists and Authors Symposium where we are competing against other sister cities from around the world. And to put this in perspective, in 2017, we won. So I'm very much looking forward to the artwork of the students ages 13 to 18. Picture C is a picture of our ADA coordinator, the Americans with Disability Act, Debbie Majors, holding a certificate from Florida Atlantic University for the city's designation as autism friendly from the FAU School of Autism and Related Disabilities. In the city of Boynton Beach, we understand that everyone is a little bit different, and we want to make sure that we are doing our best so that everyone has access to the government. In picture D, you see a wheelchair from Chariots of Love in our barrier-free park, part of the Magic Wheels and Special Deals event that we just held. And for those who do not know about our barrier-free park, it is right next to our tennis center on Congress and Southwest 30th Avenue. Barrier-free is where it is not necessarily about the barrier reef, but is removing any barrier so that we have playground equipment for all ages and all accessibilities, including wheelchair ramps. And the last that I want to mention about diversity is the BAPS Swamiranya Sansa temple that is in Boynton Beach. And right now you're looking at a picture of food for their New Year, the Hindu New Year of Diwali. It is an amazing event with amazing people, and it's something that I encourage everyone to explore, your neighbors, your other people in the city, and talk to them because we are part of one community. And speaking of a community, these are the organizations that help empower our society to be better. The first one is the Women's Circle, which has the focus on providing career skills to women and teaching English as a second language. Moving right, we have Connect to Greatness, which is the organization that teaches young African American black males uh, by exposing them to different opportunities and experiences that they may have not occurred just by going to school. Our next slide to the right, in the top right corner, is our Tom Kaiser Boynton Beach Veterans Park. We in the city of Boynton Beach used to have a Veterans Advisory Board. However, based upon sunshine rules, it wasn't becoming effective, so we created a Boynton Beach Veterans Task Force. We hold, I believe, 6 events for the veterans each year, plus a September 11th event. And for anybody who would like more information, an email is attached at the end of the presentation. Next, we have on the bottom left, Healthier Boynton Beach. Our initiative with Palm Healthcare is to create a network of support for caregivers and caregivees. Being fortunate enough to still have my grandparents down in Boca Raton, I know how important caregiving is to each in person with a loved one who may need help every day. And so with Healthier Boynton Beach, we are moving forward with that initiative. And I'll talk a little bit about more what our Screens for Success initiative. The Boynton Beach Faith-Based Community Development Corporation works with the city, spending our community development block grants to teach the population about home ownership and what to do to get your finances in order for your first time home purchase. In addition, Boynton Beach hosts the Literary Coalition of Palm Beach County, where we have Read for the Record and making sure that everyone in Palm Beach County, whether you're 3 or 30 or 80, is able to read. In addition, I can't forget Feeding South Florida with their warehouse and commercial kitchen here off of Gateway Boulevard that has done so much for all of our communities during this past year, making sure that everyone has access to food. Moving on to slide 8, we have something that I'm really pushing forward is our Screens for Success, increasing digital equity and awareness through the Chevy DTV Foundation. We are collecting used tablets, PCs, mobile phones, speakers, and other internet electronic devices so that we can share them with the community. The city of Boynton Beach is rolling out free Wi-Fi in our parks and municipal buildings. And I see the difference for people who wanted to get a vaccine in January and February, but weren't able because of the lack of access to the internet. In addition, we have Boynton Strong, which is a grassroots organization making sure that the government is focusing on the most needed and disenfranchised people in our community. And the GVDC Entrepreneurship Institute helps young entrepreneurs with the skills needed to create a career for themselves. On to the fun and exciting part of the Boynton Beach City Center, slide number 9. Here you see our City Hall Library. Next to that, in the distance, you have our Kapok Park with the giant Kapok tree. In front, you have our 1926 historic high school that this commission was able to save from demolition. It is an amazing structure with a second floor auditorium that once people have received their vaccines, we look forward to opening for different events and gatherings. Behind those banyan trees, we have our Children's Schoolhouse Museum that is operating at 50% capacity for the patron safety. And in addition, that tall tree to the right is another Kapok tree that we saved from demolition. And here is just an amazing picture from our amphitheater that really shows what our downtown is going to be. I can't wait for it just to be crowded with people. And you can see a little bit of a butterfly in front of the City Hall, and that is part of our Kinetic Arts event that we held earlier this month. These sculptures will be there throughout the year. We have a mechanical horse in front of the Arts and Cultural Center, which is an amazing thing to see. And so moving on to slide 10, talking a little bit more about the Cultural Center. As you can see here, we have on our top left, slide A, picture A, we have our City Hall Library from the K-Pock Park. K-Pock Park has one-of-a-kind playground equipment, including a jellyfish slide and a butterfly that is amazing to climb all over. In addition, we have this brand new library open to Boynton Beach residents, but it is open to everyone to come in and use the facilities. And as I mentioned earlier, the Florida room is a specific area designated just for Florida books. On our slide C is our new Fire Station 1, and behind that is a district energy plant. A district energy plant is what is cooling and heating all of the buildings rather than having an HVAC system for each building. This greatly reduces the costs of heating and cooling our buildings. In slide D, we have our amphitheater, where we're excited to hold concerts, and we feel like we can pack almost 5,000 people there when ready. In addition, the Arts and Cultural Center in slide E is where we have all of our different activities. So if you don't know that we have a Fun Fair magazines where this building, before this building, we had a Civic Center, Art Center, and Playhouse. Now all of those three city functions are in one building, and it is something to behold, saving a Mediterranean deco sculpture architecture. And picture F is our children's park, right behind the Children's Schoolhouse Museum. So all of our parks are gated in our city center, so please come down and check it out. And I'll give you, here's the 1,000-foot picture of what our new downtown of Boynton Beach. As you can see, there is some vacant land available, and the city is working with the developers so that we get the best product coming available. So we will have parking garages, residential, retail, and a hotel. And that's one of the main issues that the Boynton Beach has had, is that our developers are saying they are having trouble financing the projects because the median income and property values are not as high as our neighbors to the south, Delray and Boca or West Palm Beach. But after the recent article how Palm Beach has hit an all-time high for house prices, I feel we should be able to get financing and create a vibrant downtown for everyone to enjoy. And I believe that is it. As I mentioned, slide 12 and 13 are the different businesses and nonprofits that make a difference in Boynton Beach. And I did want to mention two nonprofits that are in unincorporated Boynton Beach, the Soup Kitchen and the Caridad Center. These are your wonderful gems of nonprofits that make sure that no one is being left behind for food or health care in Cobra. And so that is it for my presentation. I want to thank you again for listening. The city's website is boynton-beach.org, and mine is stephenbgrant.com. So thank you again. And Debbie, I didn't receive any questions, so have a great day.